Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Just Curious Reacts. Today we're going to be taking a new outlook in our reaction series, Philosophy Through Music. Growing up in the West Indies, I've been exposed to music from various cultures, African music, Indian music, of course the mix of Latino music being so close to Latin America. And in the Caribbean, we see music not belong to any particular religion or any particular people, but it's really a universal language. And today, we're going to be looking at philosophy through the lens of music, especially when it connects to the devotional side of Hindu philosophy, Hindu culture. So let's get right into it. Today, we're going to be reacting to a song many of you all may be familiar with. If not, do enjoy. Chaap Tilak, Reaction, Coke Studio, Season 7. Let's begin. Sounds like someone is talking to your soul. Pay attention to the lyrics, okay?
लागी लगी न अंग लागी तो जब जानिए जब रहे गुरु के संग मौला.
I'm sorry to stop the vibe in the moment, but you see that line just now? True devotion is not achieved without surrendering to a spiritual master, guru. This sentiment is echoed in the scriptures like the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishads, in the Vedas. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So these themes are echoed in the Hindu scriptures also, where they speak about to achieve any great thing on the spiritual path, one needs to take refuge, take guidance in a guru, a spiritual master. And of course, this is expressed in the language of Urdu. Very beautiful connections to bhakti and messages for all of us, no matter which religion, which philosophical view we live by, adopt.
जो मैं जागी थी के संग खुसरो बाजी प्रेम की खुसरो बाजी प्रेम की जो मैं खेली पी के संग जीत गई तो पिया जो मैं हारी पी के संग. चाप तिलक सब छीन लिए मुझसे रहना मिलाई के.
These lyrics are also, connected to Srimad Bhagavad Purana, or Bhagavatam as many people know it today, the story of devotion between Sri Krishna and Radha, between the gopis, the gopikas, and Bhagwan Sri Krishna. There is a beautiful description of that Ras Leela and that bhakti that the gopikas had for Bhagwan Sri Krishna. And why is that sentiment, so strong in the literature of Hindu culture? In the path of bhakti, they said one cannot lose on that path. Means even whatever effort you put forth, whatever little small stride you take to get closer to the Lord, whichever form of God you recognize and you accept, there is no losing. So the lyrics here talks about the game of love, and there's no, you win, you get the Lord. You lose also in the game of love, you still get the Lord also. That's, something you can reflect upon. The idea of bhakti being, sometimes they call it the simplest path, because it's the easiest thing for any spiritual seeker to immediately begin practicing. There is no need of any extravagant, thinking, vichar, inquiry, deep philosophical analysis. All it requires is that someone lights a lamp of love in your heart for that form of God, for some higher power. But we human beings, we like to complicate things. Sometimes the easiest things, we make it the most difficult. Let's get back to this beautiful rendition.
Chaap Tilak sab chheen liye mujhse naina milai ke. Chaap Tilak sab chheen liye mujhse naina milai ke. Naina milai ke. मेरी सुन या ना सुन, मैं तो है ना चाहूंगी ऐ सांवरे मुझसे नैना मिलाएंगे.
The guru of Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, used to use a very beautiful metaphor to describe someone on the path of bhakti. He used to give the example of a salt doll. Of course, Swami Vivekananda is one of the most illustrious saints of the 21st century. And in his time, he has spread Hindu philosophy throughout the West in particular. And of course is recognized today as being one of the stalwarts of the reawakening of Hindu thought in India and around the world. So his guru gives the example of a salt doll. Imagine a salt doll taking a plunge into the ocean. So let's say you were to make a doll out of salt, and then you throw that salt doll into the ocean. What would happen to that doll? The salt doll, the entire makeup of that doll is salt, correct? And it would dissolve upon contact with the ocean. In the same way, the devotee of God, in connecting to that Lord, loses himself or loses herself, loses their individual identity, their ego sense in the presence of, in the connection, in the worship of the Lord. And that lyric also is, that meaning is also reflected here in the lyrics, that just by one glance of your eyes, O Lord, I have lost all traces of myself. Beautiful Bhakti Siddhanta, beautiful philosophy of devotion portrayed here. I'll not stop the show. Let's keep the song rolling.
चाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिलाएंगे चाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिलाएंगे नैना मिलाएंगे नैना मतवारी कर रे मोसे नैना मिलाएंगे चाप तिलक सब छीन रे मोसे नैना मिलाएंगे.
There's also an example in the Ramayana and in Puranas also that talks about the 9 forms of devotion, Navadha Bhakti. And the last form of devotion that is mentioned is Atma Nivedanam, means offering yourself completely to the Lord, God, whoever you accept to be that ultimate truth, that ultimate being. And in this process also, just as we saw the salt doll example going into the ocean and losing itself, a devotee's final goal or final aim is to lose his or her tag that I am someone important, I am, someone who is different, distinct from, and unique. The devotee rather thinks himself or herself to be just an instrument in the hands of the Lord. The example given here is normally that of, if you've seen a picture of Lord Krishna. So generally a picture of Lord Krishna, you'll always see him with a flute in his hand. And when he plays that basuri, that flute, beautiful music comes out. So devotees imagine that, see, just as Lord Krishna plays that flute, through which beautiful music comes, in the very same way, I should become like a flute. So the Lord should play through my life and make my life beautiful. These type of sentiments are there in bhakti, in the philosophy of bhakti. Of course, these philosophical ideas, these practices, these sadhanas, they are not meant for everyone. They are not accepted. They are not attracted or attractive to many people. Because, some of us are very, intellect predominant. Means we like to think with our intellect. And we say, what bhakti? These are all devotion things. These are all, for emotional people. But the sweetest things in life, like if you were to ask someone, describe sugar. So someone can start talking about the chemical structure of sugar and all these, chemical analysis. And another person says, to describe sugar, you have to taste it. Very simple. So bhaktas, devotees are like this. They don't too much thinking over how did this world come about, what is the nature of this universe, who is this God. No, too much thinking. God is like sugar. Taste it, experience it, reach it. That philosophy, that thinking, that sentiment is there. And it has its own place and its own beauty. And I think all human beings should be able to recognize the beauty in everything, including the different parts, the different traditions. Speaking of which, the Bhakti tradition, here in a different language, in a different culture, but again, the universal voice, the universal language of music connecting us all.
रानी चढ़ी रसूल की रानी चढ़ी रानी चढ़ी रसूल की रंग मौला के हाथ जिसकी चुंदरी रंग दी धान धनुष के भाग चाप तिलक सब चीज नैना मिलाए उस रोन राम के बल बल जाए उस रोन राम के निजाम के निराम के निजाम के निराम के उस रोन निजाम के बल बल जाए मोहे सुहागन की छाप तिलक सब चीज मोहे नैना मिलाए नैना
When you think of Krishna, what name comes to mind along with Krishna? Radha, correct? Many people don't know this, but Radha never became the wife of Krishna. And I think in that also there's a beautiful lesson for those on the path of devotion. That love need not mean you have to possess. You can love without possessing that person, without possessing that thing. If you guys enjoyed this video, then do give us a thumbs up. Comment below your thoughts on the philosophy of love through music, reacting to this video. If you want to see us react to more videos like this, then do let us know. Until next time, stay curious.